Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of our fresh new era account. So in the previous episode, we started our first quest. We started and completed Death Plateau. And as you can see, every time you finish a quest, you're going to get this symbol come up into the game. It's going to tell you what you got in terms of rewards. So we've got 1 quest point and 3 reward lamps. Now, what the good thing is about doing low level quests is the rewards are quite good in terms of a level. So generally, a 100 XP lamp is really nothing too special. But as you can see here, I can put it pretty much on any skill, and at level 1, it is actually very good. Now, you might question my choice of skill I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to put this onto farming. Now the reason why is because farming's a little bit tricky to do at the absolute base low level, and I want to kind of get into play around farms, as well as herb farming being a form of profit in the future. We're going to utilize farming, hopefully as much as possible, for both its GP and its XP training as well. So, for farming is what we've got from that, but you could put that on whatever skills you guys want. Again, it could be a really good way to start getting the first couple of levels, but we have now got level 4 farming and also 17 magic as well. So really happy that in the previous sort of episode we did some magic training, because the troll you have to kill in that shouldn't really be much of a problem, but it took a bit longer than what I'd hoped it to be as well. So in this episode, what the main plan is going to be is for us to tackle a lot of these quests and get a lot of them ticked off as well, because a lot of them do give some decent XP going forward. We've got things like Restless Ghost, which would be very good for some prayer XP. We have the Vampire Slayer, which is very good for some combat XP, as well as the Fight Arena, but I probably want to upgrade my magic a little bit as well. We have things like the Witch's House, which is good for HP XP. Every quest we do, I'll make sure just to tell you guys why we're doing it, what we're going to get from it as well, and then get going. But a big chunk of quests is what we're looking to do today, as well as some other little bits. I want to make sure we can go and do all of these challenges. We won't really get much rewards from them. We're not going to get an XP reward, or definitely not going to get any key rewards. But I think they're really important to do, because they're going to get us some base levels in some skills. And it's going to give us access to daily challenges, which will be very important. While they're still here, they're a really good way to sort of bump up your skills and utilize your skills as well. So what I'm going to go and do now is just complete the rounds of daily challenges. And basically you got to do this like 3 or 4 times over. You don't get any rewards, but you do get some XP in the skills you're going to be training anyway, which is pretty much a reward enough, because you're going to be leveling skills up. And then after that, we're going to go and start some quests. Taverley and Burthorpe do have quite a lot of quests linked to them, so what I'll probably do while I'm in the area, just go and aim to do all these quests and just get them ticked off. There's some really good ones. The Violet quests do give you quite a bit of XP as well, some really big lamps, like a 10k lamp, which will probably make one of our top skills, which I think it will probably be farming, but again, I'm open to doing other things as well, because there's quite a lot for us to get at. Now, I know some people in the comments of the first video were worried that we're going to level too quickly in terms of being ready for Havelheim. There is so much low level stuff for us to do. We'll have plenty to do to be ready. Like, I will not take this account past like the mid-level or lower mid-level before Havelheim, because I want to show you guys the true impact an update like that can have on the account. But if you are enjoying the series, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know suggestions you guys want to see in terms of content, things I can improve as well. Always looking to make these videos as best I can, and try to explain as much tips and tricks in these videos to help you guys out, because I'm really happy to see that so many of you guys are trying to do what we're doing here. I'm really happy to see, like, in the comment section, that so many of you are going to try a new account for this new era as well, and hopefully it can be a really good time. And if you are following, make sure to drop a comment, say you are in the comment section below. But apart from that, I think it's time to go and get started. Let's go and get grinding for this episode, and we'll jump back when we've finished all these daily challenges. So Burthorpe is really good when you're trying to get these original challenges out of the way, because everything is so close together. In the Burthorpe mine, you have access to clay and the common gems, so really good way to go and get those done together. And you also have things like fishing spots, logs, all that kind of thing. So that's where I normally go and do it, but you can do it pretty much anywhere in the game. It's just more of a common gems. Quite a few places have it, but Burthorpe's got everything kind of tied together. And I think this is the last one. So again, really good thing to go and get started, because it's going to get you a couple of levels just from actively training. Nothing too crazy. So we've got a couple of level 2s, which, you know, is starting to progress. But then afterwards, we'll have the ability to do proper challenges, which will give us a chunk of XP as a reward as well. Now, things like mining, we'll sort of mention it a little bit more when we do some mining training, but up to level 15, mining is fully AFK. Now, before level 15, you don't have access to the stamina bar. And as soon as you get level 15, that's when the stamina bar comes into the game. And then you have to sort of actively keep an eye on mining, because if your stamina bar is low, you don't make much progress mining. So for those first 15 levels of mining, you really have a chance to kind of do like a nice little AFK stint. Believe it or not, things like tin and bronze do have a decent price to them. Now, everything which we end up collecting for doing these challenges, I'm going to save in for underground exchange. They will sell for something, even if they're not a lot, it's still going to be some form of GP as well, which is always very nice. With these lower level gems or the common gem rocks, you have the ability to crush the gem. And that basically means that the gem is not of use, so just drop them if you don't have the gems cut. So we just need to cut 2 more gems, and then we just going to need to do a little bit of pottery. Pottery is something else which actually makes a little bit of GP, as does mining clay. So we've got access to a couple of things at the minute, which are going to make us some decent profit. So there we go. That is access to the proper set of daily challenges. You'll notice the proper set because you'll see the weekly progress bar underneath. And we have access to all these items if we go and do enough progress during the week as well. It was basically 9 challenges, so it's 3 times going over, and we didn't do bad, to be fair. We made some parts, we got some gems. I'll throw it all in the bank and we'll go from there. I do have some pretty decent challenges here: mining, smithing, and then daily equipment crafting, which we can actually go and kill some cows a little bit further down, and we can go and tan their hides as well. So what I'm going to go and do actually is go and do these 3 challenges, and I'll show you what kind of XP you guys can get. Again, to do these challenges, nothing too difficult in terms of it. Basically, whenever you click on it, it tells you what to do. So for mining, go and mine 5 type of ore. I need to go and smith something, so it makes sense to go and do some bronze and then also some tin as well, just so we can go and tie both of these together. So there's no point in me going to mine some clay when I need to go and get some more to go and smith some stuff. So we'll just go and do that really quickly. And then in terms of the crafting one, there is a cow pen a little bit further south. This is why like Burthorpe and Taverley is so good. It's got all the things you kind of need to do, like your daily challenges every day. There's the cow pen with a tanner actually in the pen as well, so we can go and make some soft leather, craft it into leather gloves or something else, and then we can get that done as well, and we'll get some form of XP. I'll show you what it's like. Obviously, because we're like level 1 and stuff, it won't be massive. It always goes off your current level, so because we're lower level, it won't be massive, but it'll be a nice little bump up in terms of the XP and a little bit of progress as well. But there is level 4 mining. We are racking up the levels, as you know. And this is nice. Again, like I play a main account most of the time, and I don't often get the chance to see level up. So it is really nice to start seeing the level ups again. And this is where you kind of get that nostalgic feel of how it used to be, of just going to do some form of skilling and just getting some levels from it as well. But I'm going to do the smithing one. I'll also do the crafting one as well, and then I'll come back when it's time to claim them. And then after that, I think it's time to go and do some quests. In Taverley and Burthorpe as well, a lot of the NPCs which have symbols above their heads are kind of like skill tutors. And what you can normally get as well when you trade them is some free supplies as well. So Jack Oval will give us some free thread and some other items you can buy from as well. But you also have items which are relevant to the skill. And it just means you can just pick some stuff up from there as well. So what we're going to do now is make the leather gloves. And that is going to be our crafting challenge for the day done. So we made some bronze arrowheads, we've made some gloves, and we mined the tin and copper as well for those challenges. So once we've done that, we can go and click the claim rewards, which is going to give us some different drops. I think it was roughly like 300 to 400 XP. So we got 329 in mining, 329 in crafting, 265 in smithing. Again, nothing massive, but it would just bump the levels up. So 7 mining, 4 smithing, and then 6 crafting as well, which will help to some money makers and will help to some quest levels as well. But that is pretty much that. What I'm going to go and start with now is start with Druid Ritual, which will be a way to go and get some Herblore XP, start Herblore off as well. And then there's a couple of quests to dot around Taverley as well. So there's definitely different things for us to go and do. You can also look for the start location. So for us, at the minute we are in Taverley. So we've got Taverley and Burthorpe. So we can do all these while we're here and then move on to a different bit to go and do some other stuff a little bit later on. So what I'm probably going to do is Wolf Whistle, Let's Meet Pie, and the Druidic Ritual, and then move from there. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to speak to Cake Mix, and this is going to start Druidic Ritual. So this is the entry level quest to go and do Herblore. Really quick, it's just sort of running and collecting some items. So I won't bore you guys with having to do this. We'll come back when it's time for the reward. So there we go, nice and quick one. So we take the potion back to Cake Mix, and he's going to go and put it onto the altar. Really quick one in terms of you just literally go to 3 different spots. All of them are highlighted in the blue for quest help as well. And this is going to give us a couple of Herblore levels. It's going to give us level 3. But again, Herblore, you can still make money with Herblore at a very low level. Herblore is very different compared to like sort of 4 or 5 years ago. It's a money making skill now in my opinion. With Herblore and the fact that people can now buy extremes to go and make their overloads, super potions and extreme potions, people don't really want to make anymore. So we can make them for some XP a little bit later down the line. Now that's going to give us 4 quest points, 250 Herblore XP, and then some sort of supplies to go and do some attack potions. So that is level 3 Herblore, which is really nice. On to the next one for the Taverley area. We're going to go into the summoning shop and speak to Pickup Mix. And it's going to do the Wolf's Whistle quest, which is going to give us a decent stack of charms to get started with summoning, and also sort of teaches how summoning can get started. So I'm going to run through this one again. This is a very easy quest. All the quests sort of in Taverley and Burthorpe are very sort of easy. You don't really need much guidance to it. But if you do need some guidance, check the quest interface because that will guide you along with it. The wiki is also here as well for you guys to click to have a look at as well. But for the most part, it is pretty step-by-step in terms of the Burthorpe and Tav quest, which is why it's probably the best place for you to start if you are starting from afresh. So here we go. This is the end of Wolf Whistle. We've gone and made the giant Wolpertinger, and we're going to scare off these trolls. Again, some of the cutscenes which we get from here are a little bit nostalgic. I remember doing this in the very early days when summoning was released. In fact, on the main account actually, I think I was like top 1k rank in summoning. I really did a lot of summoning because I did Tormented Demons. Tormented Demons were great charms. And Dragon Claws was how I made my money back in the day. So yeah, it's wild that it's been so long that summoning's been in the game. You would have thought it was like quite recent, but it must be about like 15 years now. So yeah, that was another trip and to remind myself just how old I am now. But there we go. So that's Wolf's Whistle done. That's another quest completed in Taverley and Burthorpe. We're going to go and do Let Them Eat Pie now as well, because that quest actually has a little bit of a helpful reward. The spices increase your HP, you're healed by certain foods, which is actually really nice and will come in helpful definitely during the early stage of this account as well. So we're going to go and get that one done. Again, we'll only show you guys when we're getting the reward and when the quest screen is up. But that is another one ticked off, and there we go, Wolf's Whistle. Now you do get 275 gold charms from this, which is actually really decent actually. That should get us a decent few summoning levels. And it'll be really interesting to do some low-level summoning. So maybe that's something we can show you guys a little bit later on, because there's definitely ways to make pouches quicker, which definitely with something like Gold Charms, I'll show you guys how to do that as well. So that is very decent. I don't know where we got this wild card, but we'll use it at some point when we go to Dungeoneering. Probably from doing the daily challenges, actually. Right, so time for Let Them Eat Pie. I will report back very soon. After that, I think I might go and do the Violet quests, because again, they give some very, very good lamps. And it just means that we're kind of ticked off and done in this part of the world. We do need to do Witch's House, but the NPC for that is actually quite strong. So I might visit that a little bit later on down the line. And we'll just go and whack out the rest of the quests which are dotted around here. These are all easy quests, so they're definitely worth doing. So we'll go and pick them up. And I'll report back very soon when it's time to finish a quest. So Let Them Eat Pie is basically you poisoning a man with a very, very dodgy pie. So that's going to wrap up this quest. Now, I have a choice between going to do like the Violet quest or going off to do something else. I think if we do the Violet quest, I can put the lamps on something. I'm not quite sure what skill to put them on. And again, when you start to get quest rewards where you can have lamps put on various skills, always have in mind what kind of skill you're going to put them on. I normally go for something which kind of makes it life a bit easier. So Divination could be a really good one. Don't know what's happening with the game now. So yeah, Divination and Farming could definitely be things we could do with that, just because as well, they're kind of a little annoying to train early on. Divination especially is very, very slow. And Farming, the quicker I can get to like 10 to 20 farming, the quicker we can do things like herbs, like Marintils, actually make some money as well. So it could be a really good way for us to make a little bit of cash just to get going. So just gone to go and feed for seal. We'll finish the quest here, and that is Let Them Eat Pie. So some more quests completed, and again the Taverley quests really are decent to go and do that. I'm going to go and pop that to Foppish. So there we go, Let Them Eat Pie is completed. The pouch of expensive spices is going to give plus 50 life points from all food when worn or carried, which will be very, very useful, especially for the early game. It just means that when we're taking some food, it just means to give us a bit more HP. Food works slightly different now. It's relevant to your HP level. So as whereas before, you could go on a 10 HP account and take something like lobsters, which would heal you all the way to max HP. The lobsters are a ratio to your HP now. So how you eat food is slightly different. So this item is very, very good for what it is basically, and a very, very quick quest to do as well. Now I'm going to go and do the Violet quest, and then we'll go and get a couple of lamps there. The lamps are very decent, so we'll probably use that on something like Divination. What I'm thinking is with Divination, with things like Divine Locations, we can use that to help train our other skills and bring our resource skills up, because we can make things called Divine Locations. Now, Divine Locations is an intensive skilling station, which is only available for about a minute once you've made one. You can only make one per day as well. So it just gives us a very focused resource where we could do a little bit of fishing, mining, hunter, whatever we want to do for a minute or so, and then just get a little bit of XP from it. So Divination is a very good support skill for other stuff as well. However, we'll report back when we finish the Violet quest, and then we'll move on from there. So there we go, Violet is Blue, Christmas quest in January. But from that, we're going to get 1 quest point and the Lamp of Joy, Wonder and Laughter. So what we're going to do while we're here, we're going to jump straight into Violet is Blue 2, because that's a little bit quicker to do than this quest was, even though it only took like 15 minutes. but it's going to give us some pretty decent lamps. But again, the Christmas village, which I still think that this needs a prequel. Like, these two quests need a third quest just to finish it all off. Maybe that could be this year's Christmas quest, who knows. So yeah, we're going to go and do Violet is Blue 2, and then we'll come back and report on what we're going to do next. So there we go, Violet is Blue 2 is also done, and we've got a decent amount of lamps which we'll go and put on some skills. I've had to think about it, and I do think the divination, giving that a bit of a kickstart, so when we do things like divine caches, and also like train it a little bit as well, it just means we've got a bit more of a jump in terms of training divination, and it's one of those which will support some other skills as well. You'll see me use divine locations on a kind of regular basis anyway, but this should hopefully finish it all off. And again, really wholesome quests these two are, and I just think that with how long they've been in the game, we need a sequel. Like, we always need a decent holiday quest, and Violet quests are always really, really good. So I'm going to wrap this up, and then we'll jump to when it's time to put the lamps on. And she got a Christmas tree, which is all we ever wanted from a nice Christmas quest. So there we go, 10 quest points as well as some more lamps. So let's go and throw these on some skills. So we're going to throw them all onto divination, I think. So we're going to start at level 1 divination, of course, and we can see what level we're going to get. And if we can just store that. So from quest number 1, we have gained 3000 XP. And then from quest number 2, we're going to get another 4000 XP, which is very nice. Another 4000 XP on top of that. I imagine that's another 4000 XP lamp as well. So just from doing that, we've already got to level 20 divination, 23 in fact, which is actually really, really nice. What I'm going to do actually with these lamps, because I'm a little bit ahead on divination compared to what I thought I would get from the quest, I'm going to throw one on farming, and then probably what else is a little bit annoying to start, probably just divination again actually. So that just means we've got a little bit of a head start on what we're doing in terms of those skills. So that is really, really nice to get ticked off. And again, for how low level the quest is and how pretty much you don't need any skills or items to do it, it's a really good way to level some stats up. We've come out of that with 28 divination and 19 farming, which again is really, really nice. You can just see the kind of things we've had access to divination now, so we can make a divine iron and coal, loads of hunter spots, loads of woodcutting spots, a herb spot, fishing, so much access on those early divination levels, which will really help us like build the account going forward as well. So that is really, really nice. And to be fair, we've made some huge progress actually. We've knocked out pretty much all of the Taverley and Berthorpe quests now. So the next episode, we're going to go and start somewhere else. The only quest we've not done in Taverley is Witch's House, which I kind of want to be a little bit stronger in terms of magic level, just because that NPC in Witch's House is a lot stronger than what you think. So we don't want to start this series with dying. So decent progress in terms of this episode. In terms of next episode, we'll probably go and do Lumbridge and Draenor and get all these ticked off, because these are some very, very quick quests to do. However, I'm going to go and start a quest in Varrock. We're going to go and start New Foundations, because we're going to end the episode in a second. But what I think is worthwhile doing is getting the New Foundation quest started, just so when we come to the next episode, we can start with the fort already being built, because there's quite a bit of AFK time in building the fort for Fort Frimfree. So we can do that in the meantime, just so you guys don't have to watch any of it as well, and we can do that as well. Now, the Fort Frimfree quest is a very, very good quest to do, and it does require a little bit of GP to do it. So if you are following with a series of the quests I've done over this episode, you can do New Foundations as well, and then we'll meet up for the next episode and go through it from there. So what I'm going to do is just start the New Foundations, but I'll wrap the video up here just so we're not having to see all of that anyway, because it's just going to be me running around Varrock gathering people anyway. However, as always, I want to say a massive thank you all for the support. The subscriptions, the likes, the views over the past couple of days have been insane. It's probably been one of the best periods of the channel so far, and we are starting 2026 and this new era account off the right way. I want to thank you all so much for all the support as well. So thank you guys for that. If you are enjoying though, please make sure to keep hitting that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It really is helping this sort of series get out more and more. The first episode is still getting an incredible amount of views per hour, and it's just because it's how good you guys have responded to it with the comments and with the likes and stuff as well. Really hope you've enjoyed. Give me some suggestions on what you want me to do next. We're going to keep going on with quests for another couple of videos, because I think they're really good builders. But what I'm going to try and do as well as the quest, is flesh in some other stuff, and just to build that account up as well. So if you got any suggestions on what you do to build your account up, or anything which is worthwhile going to do next, drop in the comment section below and I'll make sure to pick it up as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.